something inside of you. Let's cast her out.
Mother Mary is one of the most unusual and ambitious film projects to emerge in recent years, attracting attention not just because of its high-profile cast, but because of its bold attempt to merge the worlds of music, faith, celebrity culture, and psychological drama into a single cinematic experience. Rather than following the traditional structure of a musical or a straightforward biographical drama, the film explores the emotional and spiritual journey of a global pop icon who begins to lose control of her carefully constructed public image. This premise immediately set the film apart from other projects in development at the time, as it promised a deeply introspective look at fame and identity through a stylized, almost surreal narrative. At the center of the story is a world-famous singer known to millions as Mother Mary, a performer whose stage persona blends religious symbolism, high fashion, and theatrical spectacle. On stage, she appears powerful, confident, and untouchable, commanding stadiums filled with fans who treat her performances like spiritual experiences rather than simple concerts. However, away from the spotlight, her private life is far more complicated. The film gradually reveals that the character's public persona is a carefully crafted illusion, maintained through strict control over her image, her relationships, and the narrative surrounding her rise to fame. The actress portraying Mother Mary delivers one of the most demanding performances of her career, portraying a character who must constantly shift between different versions of herself. In public, she speaks with confidence and charisma, projecting the aura of a near-mythical figure. In private, she appears exhausted, anxious, and uncertain about who she truly is beyond the expectations placed upon her. This duality becomes the emotional core of the film, as the audience witnesses the growing gap between the person and the persona, a gap that becomes increasingly difficult for her to manage. A major turning point in the story occurs when Mother Mary begins preparing for a new creative project that is meant to redefine her career and solidify her legacy. The project is described as deeply personal, drawing from her past and from the religious imagery that has always been a part of her brand. However, as she begins working on it, she is forced to confront memories and emotions she had long suppressed. This creative process becomes a form of self-examination, and the film portrays it through dreamlike sequences that blur the line between reality, memory, and performance. Supporting her throughout this period is a fashion designer, who has been responsible for shaping much of her iconic visual identity. Their relationship is complex, built on both deep friendship and professional dependence. The designer understands how to transform Mother Mary's ideas into visual statements that captivate the public. Yet he also sees the emotional toll that fame is taking on her. Their conversations provide some of the film's most grounded moments, offering insight into the machinery behind celebrity culture and the way image is often prioritized over personal well-being. Music plays a central role in the film's storytelling, not simply as entertainment but as a direct reflection of Mother Mary's internal state. The songs performed throughout the movie are written to mirror her psychological journey, shifting in tone from confident and triumphant to fragile and introspective. Rather than presenting these musical moments as traditional performances alone, the film often stages them in stylized environments that represent her thoughts and fears. Concert stages transform into abstract landscapes, and rehearsal spaces dissolve into symbolic dreamscapes, reinforcing the idea that the audience is witnessing not just a performance but a window into her mind. The film also explores the relationship between celebrity and devotion, showing how fans project their own hopes, beliefs, and emotions onto public figures. For many of her followers, Mother Mary is more than a singer. She is a symbol of empowerment, rebellion, and even spiritual guidance. This level of adoration creates immense pressure, as any perceived failure or scandal threatens not only her career, but also the sense of identity her fans have built around her. The story examines how this dynamic traps her in a role she can never fully escape, as stepping away from her persona would feel like betraying the millions who look up to her. As the narrative progresses, Mother Mary begins to question the authenticity of her own life. She wonders whether the choices she made were truly hers or whether they were shaped by managers, media expectations, and the demands of maintaining a profitable brand. This crisis of identity becomes more intense as she revisits her early years before fame, when her relationship with music was more personal and less tied to commercial success. Flashbacks reveal a young artist driven by passion and curiosity, contrasting sharply with the carefully controlled superstar she has become. The film's visual style reflects its themes of illusion and fragmentation. Mirrors, reflections, and layered images are used frequently, emphasizing the idea that Mother Mary is surrounded by different versions of herself. In some scenes, her reflection lags behind her movements or appears distorted, symbolizing the disconnect between how she sees herself and how the world sees her. These visual choices create a slightly surreal atmosphere, suggesting that the character's sense of reality is becoming unstable as her internal conflict grows. Another important character in the story is a journalist, who attempts to uncover the truth behind Mother Mary's carefully maintained public image. Their interactions are tense and layered with subtext, as the singer is both wary of being exposed and secretly desperate to be understood. The journalist represents the outside world's curiosity and skepticism, constantly probing for cracks in the persona that has been built over years of fame. These confrontations force Mother Mary to confront aspects of her life she would prefer to keep hidden, including the sacrifices she made and the relationships she allowed to fall apart in pursuit of success. As the pressure from her upcoming project intensifies, Mother Mary begins to experience emotional breakdowns and moments of dissociation. She struggles to distinguish between genuine feelings and the emotions she has learned to perform for the public. This confusion is depicted through fragmented editing and sudden shifts between settings, creating the sensation that the audience is experiencing her mental state alongside her. The film does not treat these moments as mere spectacle but as serious psychological distress, highlighting the cost of living under constant scrutiny and expectation. The climax of the story revolves around a major public performance that is meant to mark a new chapter in Mother Mary's career. Leading up to this event, there is uncertainty about whether she will go through with it, or whether she will abandon the persona that has defined her life. The performance itself becomes a moment of confrontation between the image she has projected for years and the truth she has been trying to suppress. Through music, costume, and stage design, she attempts to communicate her inner turmoil to the audience without directly speaking about it, turning the concert into a symbolic confession. Following this pivotal moment, the film shifts toward a quieter and more introspective tone. The consequences of her choices ripple through her personal and professional life, affecting her relationships and her standing in the public eye. Some fans feel betrayed by her apparent vulnerability, while others connect with her more deeply than ever before. This mixed reaction underscores one of the film's central ideas, that authenticity is both desired and feared in celebrity culture. As audiences often claim to want honesty but react unpredictably when they actually receive it. The performances across the film were widely discussed because of the emotional intensity required to portray characters who exist under constant observation. The actress playing Mother Mary had to embody not only the confidence of a global superstar, but also the fragility of a person struggling to maintain her sense of self. Her portrayal required extensive musical performance, physical transformation through elaborate costumes, and moments of quiet vulnerability that contrasted sharply with the grandeur of her stage persona. The film's production design also played a crucial role in bringing its themes to life. Concert scenes were crafted to feel both realistic and theatrical, capturing the scale of modern pop performances, while incorporating symbolic elements that reflected Mother Mary's internal struggles. Backstage areas were shown as labyrinthine and claustrophobic, filled with narrow corridors, dressing rooms, and technical equipment, emphasizing how confined she feels even in spaces designed for spectacle. One of the most distinctive aspects of Mother Mary is how it treats religion and spirituality. Rather than presenting faith in a traditional or literal sense, the film explores how religious imagery and language are often used in pop culture to create powerful emotional reactions. Mother Mary's stage persona deliberately incorporates symbols associated with holiness and martyrdom, blurring the line between spiritual reverence and celebrity worship. This thematic layer adds depth to the story, inviting viewers to reflect on the ways modern society replaces traditional icons with pop culture figures. As audiences engaged with the film after its release, discussions emerged about its portrayal of mental health in the entertainment industry. Many viewers interpreted the character's breakdown as a commentary on the unrealistic expectations place